times.
And Mr. Orange, named after our good friend Graham Orange, who was a PRO for Go Racing in Yorkshire for many a year and did a lot of work as our leg man as well, so he'll be watching this at home as well. Big cricket fan is Graham. Yep. Good luck. Macho Pride, 100 to 30 favourite, there's 2 to go. Yeah,
he's been a much bigger price than that through the day, so he's been well backed. Some money for number 12, 3-year-old Tom Eves aboard Rock Princess. I think it's 1 to go 1, Peter.
Here's Malcolm for the sprint. Here we go.
All in, set to go here. They're off. They're racing for the Mr. Wolf Handicap Stakes. Round the island, got a good start to the inside. Stallone is away okay. Also breaking prominently Macho Pride. Meanwhile, out deep on the track, Saint-Jean-Glay got a decent start. Also racing prominently out deep on the track is Drish Hero as they settle down early. Round the island, red cap to the inside. Right up with the pace now, Corinthia Knight in the yellow and white colours. Rainbow Rain crossing from wide, so too Drish Hero in the yellow and black. Parked behind them is Macho Pride with a white cap, then Stallone to the inside. Catesby is centre pack in the maroon with the silver chevron. Behind those, Mr. Orange sits back in the pack with Rock Princess. Niro last and first is late arrival. Saint-Jean-Glay is well back in the field as well. So too is Edison and Our Little Pony. They take the turn back towards the final 2. Drish Hero to the inside. Corinthia Knight round the island right behind them. Out wide of runners is Rainbow Rain. They're followed by Stallone. Behind Stallone in the centre of the track trying to run is Macho Pride, but they're back towards the final furlong now. Up front, Drish Hero tackled by on the inside around the island. Near side trying to pick up is Corinthia Knight from the back. Stallone is getting going. They go inside the final half furlong found side round the island, being tackled by Corinthia Knight, who's just about hit the front for Hollie Doyle. And inside the final 100 yards, Corinthia Knight has gone on to score. Tight behind round the island to the far side, then Stallone. They were followed through by Our Little Pony. Just behind them, Drish Hero with Macho Pride and Mr. Orange.
It's a win for Hollie Doyle. She does well round Ponty, and it's another win for Archie Watson and Hollie teaming up here. Son of Society Rock, Corinthia Knight brought with a well-timed run, and the Ponty record now reads 1-3-1-1-1. That's from 5 starts here. Nicely timed, wins half a length or so. Second was Round the Island, more prominent today in a race that wasn't run that quickly as Graham suggested it might not. And Stallone down the weights finishes third. Our Little Pony was fourth. There was good early pace from Drish Hero, but couldn't hold on to that lead. You did put the question, Graham, and not many again got into this really.
No, that's fair comment. I think it's 2:10 and 8. We'll confirm that very shortly. 2 or 3 chances inside the last. The key question here was whether Hollie Doyle could get her old favourite Corinthia Knight motivated early enough to get a handy position. She did. This a lesser race than he's been used to contesting. Picked them up early, I think, in the white colours towards the inside. Rock Princess, awkward from the gate, Peter.
Yeah, most certainly. And Mr. Orange, he could never get into it. You can see him down on the inside. He was from stall number 1. He's pushed along. That's often the case. He's right down the way. And then out wide, Drish Hero. The speed was out wide. We thought it'd be harder to get to the front from these in a handicap, but good early pace.
Drish Hero and
also Rainbow Rain's
I was
out
just
there.
waiting for confirmation. I think it's confirmed. I couldn't quite hear it. I think it's confirmed that Round the Island is second, but we will confirm that in a minute. Right of picture, that is correct. Right of picture, Mr. Orange never really got in a serious blow. Not too many horses did. And look at Hollie here, Peter. She's disputing third place, but she's working hard, much harder to the naked eye than Jason Hart. But she's on a horse who's got a great record here, who's dropped to a very, very attractive mark on his best form, and he digs in really hard when challenged on both sides.
Put a line through the performance of Saint-Jean-Glay, left of screen, stall 13, always in rear, wide, could never get into it. Round the island, is he a bit unlucky? I know he's always had a funny head carriage. You need a faster pace.
I wouldn't knock him on this,
pace,
Peter.
no?
He had a completely clean shot, but he's up against the tough Ponty forms really come to the fore, as we can see. He's up against the tough Cookie who just wears him down. Back in 5th, I think, is the well-backed Macho Pride. Had to cover some ground, a bit more ground than ideal, but his efforts just plateaued out in the closing stages. So confirmed, Peter. Number 2, the well-handicapped Corinthia Knights and a Society Rock for Archie Watson and Hollie Doyle. Gets it done by round about half a length from on the far side. Another Ponty popular character round the island. And Stallone, who we didn't talk about much beforehand, but he'd been running really well, pretty well in this type of race, and he's done exactly that again. 4-1, 11-1, 7-1, 2, 10 and 8 in race 2.
And there were several specialists in this sprinters at Ponty. It lends itself to that type, doesn't it? A Mr. Wolf type indeed, doesn't it, Graham?
It is a track where sprinters in particular, and those long distance horses for that matter, come back year in, year out. This horse is not the force he used to be, but he's dropped a long way. Just to reiterate how long, in less than a year, Peter, 10 months I think it is, he's gone from winning off 92 to trading at a much more mediocre level, off a mark of 72 today? 71. Hollie Doyle, strong as ever, and she gets a very, very warm welcome. She'll be a little frustrated, but also optimistic about Nashua. She travelled up beautifully in the Kazoo Oaks on Friday, and I believe she's a possibility for the French Oaks.
I was just going to ask you that. That was going to be my next question. And we must acknowledge as well, not just the jockey owners, onto a winner. Quiet Reflection and horses like that. They've had some good ones down the years. They're a good outfit, aren't they?
They have, and this horse has done them really good service for quite a few years now. So a 7-year-old, Corinthia Knight, beats a 9-year-old round the island and a 6-year-old, Stallone. So experience definitely came to the fore, and the old Ponty form came to the fore, because this horse, I think, has 3 wins at Ponty to his credit, and round the island, how many? Half a dozen, is it?
Round the island is a 6-time course and distance win.
So if you're onto a winner, members here, happy pictures. One for the mantelpiece there, with a horse who's done them really proud for a few years now. Archie Watson, Hollie Doyle will both be gearing up for big races, maybe this weekend, and especially at Royal Ascot. Archie has that horse who bolted up at York first time, Bradas or Breedas, I can't remember his name. But I'm interested to hear Richard stack up the times here, because we have an older horse sprint handicap over 6 following on half an hour after a 2-year-old maiden. Didn't have the split screens on, split times on screen today, so interesting to note the overall times of the 2 sprint races to kick us off, to give us a reasonable idea of what Double O achieved in race 1.
Yes, and King Francis's Hollie's ride in the next will be fancied in the Rob Burrow race for 7 o'clock. Plenty of time before then. More homework assignments for you, Richard. It's not a steady start to the week for you.
Well, first of all, congratulations to Corinthia. I mentioned that stat beforehand. He's won every single season that he's raced now, so that's from 2 through to 7. And this was his first win of 2022. 4-1 for Hollie Doyle, Archie Watson, and on to a winner. Round the Island was second at 11-1. Stallone was third at 7-1. The well-backed and unplaced favourite was Macho Pride at 100-30. Number 1, Capono, didn't run. 13 of them did. Now, as regards the times, it's been somewhat complicated by the fact that both of these are hand times. Double O clocking 1:17.88 and 1:17 dead for Corinthia Knight. So 0.88 of a second faster, so that equates over 6 to round about 0.15 per second per furlong. So a Double O, bear in mind, is just a 2-year-old carrying 9.2. Corinthia Knight's 7-year-old carrying 10 stone 3. So that's the time so far, but both of those are hand times, first 2 races at Pontefract.